Hey there, I'm Chris Talbot.
And I'm Raul Chan.
And we're here to sample some more beer. And once again, you probably noticed we haven't changed clothes. We just wear the same thing day in and day out.
That's TV land. Don't worry, YouTube. If you check the other videos on this side, if you look down along Chris C. Talbot 2008, we're probably wearing the same thing, but that's okay. Just remember to subscribe. It's about here.
Is that where it is? Is it about there?
It's about somewhere there.
Can you look there?
Yeah, don't hit the back button. Anyways.
That would. So today, on the weekend, we're mid-August as we're shooting this. I don't know if it'll get posted some point soon, but mid-August as we're shooting this, and I have just kind of been up to Thorn, Ontario / Temiskaming, Quebec. And when you pop over the border, you can get some beers that you can't get in Ontario. Some of which are from Boreale. So Boreale is, from what I've never actually had any of their beers before. This will be a first for both of us.
Or Boreale.
This is a first for you as well.
I have never heard of
Okay, good.
Boreale.
But a quick check online suggests these guys are anything but new to the craft brewing scene. As far as I can tell, they go back to the late 80s. I saw a mention of one of their more popular beers originally being released in like 1988. So these guys have been around for a long time. I'd imagine people in Quebec probably know these beers fairly well.
The wall was around when this beer was created. Anyways.
I just hope it has not been in storage for that long. But I'm sure it's, fresh.
Yes.
Although there are no stamps. So
There are no stamps.
But so what are we looking at? We got the Boreale Doree, which is a honey ale. Which, I don't know about you, what do you think of honey beers generally?
I'm a fan of, like, honey brown beers. I guess specifically the Sleeman's version. So I've never had, like, just a straight honey beer. I've had honey wine. I find it sweet. I think honey is a great ingredient to add to things. And so I can't wait to actually try this, because I know that we were sampling other beers, and there's a honey taste to it, and you're saying that comes from the hops, as opposed to actually adding honey. So maybe this is...
One of the things that I actually made a honey brown ale not too long ago with my brewing buddy. It was his recipe, but we added honey to it, but we also added what's called honey malt, which I'm not 100% sure how they get the flavors, but it actually helps to impart more of the honey flavor than honey actually does, because honey will ferment out.
Yes, that's...
You've had my meads before.
I've had the mead.
And a lot of the honey flavor will just disappear because the yeast just eats it all out, all the sugar. But why don't we dive right into this here? We like to read, right? So we'll read the English, which they actually do have English on this. It's so much in Quebec is just in French, but they actually do have English on this for those of us who are
for Anglos.
French impaired.
So soyuz sans edge notes.
Let me read the English.
Silky but not sweet, easy drinking ale. Subtle flavors of summer honey.
Probably good, because
Pourquoi?
we're in summer.
And so, my car keys and a beer opener. Well, yes. Now this okay. So we're the pourer.
Alright.
So again, this is proper beer pouring techniques. Very similar to
I don't know about that, but the way I'm pouring it certainly opens it up.
Okay.
Ordinarily you kind of tip the glass, and since we're only pouring, like each of us are just getting half a bottle, we want to make sure we kind of open this up as much as possible, and that's close enough to about even, right?
Okay. And just another interesting thing on the bottle, it says best served at 6 degrees. So why, in terms, would we want to serve it cool but not cold?
Well, 6 degrees is still pretty just like wine, right? Each wine or any type of alcohol you have, there's a suggested serving temperature which will open up the flavors best, will kind of give you the best taste on your tongue and mouthfeel. Beer served too cold, it tends to destroy the flavor, which is often why a lot of the macro brews are served very, very cold, because they all taste the same for the most part, with minor variations and such, right? And the point is just to have it very, very cold, and that's really what you're getting. You're getting a cold, refreshing beverage. But we actually want to taste this.
So we're not cold certifying.
And so what do we got here?
Alright, so this seems a lot lighter than the previous India Pale Ale, but this is not...
going back almost to the Pale Ale. It's very...
I know, but this is
but not even quite as...
So this is called a natural ale. So, if you've watched...
Whoa! Smell that.
I haven't even smelled it yet.
That is some serious honey aroma.
That is very sweet.
I could just breathe that in.
That's a very nice flavor, actually, to smell.
And we were just kind of in the process of sampling this, were we not?
Yes, so we smelt it. Alright, so cheers.
Cheers. Very honey.
That's very sweet.
Wow.
Very smooth.
Whew.
No aftertaste. Some beers, you drink it, and after it goes down, then you can have the aftertones, I think they're called. Scotch, I'm a Scotch drinker, has a lot of aftertones. You drink it, and then a couple seconds later, a different flavor comes out. This, you feel the flavor, and then it's done. Very mellow, finished.
That is
really smooth.
Really, it's sweet, and it's the honey flavors are really strong, very, very strong. So I think they used a lot of honey malt in this. I'm gonna have to bring one of these bottles over to my brewing buddy's place, because we made a honey brown at his place, and we used some honey malt, and it worked fairly well. But it was much more subdued than this. This is a really strong, kick you in the face kind of honey flavor. I like that.
I really enjoy this beer. It's unfortunate that you cannot get it in Ontario. So essentially, Chris is a smuggler smuggling this into Ontario. But I don't think they're really going to say much. It's not like cigarettes that he brought.
We can bring beer back over provincial borders.
So I really enjoy this beer. This would be because I know a lot of beer connoisseurs that say, oh, it's got this flavor. It's like, for me, a beer, when is the best time for me to drink it is what I enjoy, because I don't drink the same beer all the time. Like, my summer beers are different from my fall beers and winter beers, or even like the occasion too. Even going camping, I'll take a different beer than if we're sitting out, say, on Chris's patio, or I'm at a bar.
Yeah, it's no same here.
So I'm trying to figure out where would I
think it's kind of a spring, summer, fall kind of beer. Now, I mean, it's fairly smooth. I mean, we've let this warm up a little bit, but
I'd almost, you know what? I'd even say this is almost a year-round beer. I would get this at any time. I'd drink this in the winter too.
There's nothing wrong with drinking honey beer in the winter at all.
No, because it's.
I mean, as you can see, it's a very light golden color, but it's
full-bodied. This is an excellent beer. Boreale. And you know what? I do agree to this. Silky but not sweet. Easy drinking ale. Subtle flavors of summer honey. But I would even take out the summer honey. I'd just say subtle flavors. Honey. It's a honey beer. Right, so, great beer. Highly suggested. I like this. I should get my grammar book. I would recommend this.
We are on our third beer, though.
We are on our first beer.
For the episode, sure.
For the episode, but if you've been watching our previous episodes, I recommend, actually, the previous beers that we've had while I've been on, I would recommend all of them. They're very good. Very rare have I had a beer I didn't like, and I still have to try again. Because you
do drink 50. And to be fair, so do I.
Love 50, which gets a bad rap because it's a full body.
It does. On the plus side, you take it to a party, no one's stealing your beer. Except you.
Except for, my friends that steal my 50 now. But, anything else would you like to say about Boreale? So it's a natural ale, and it's a 4.8, so it's a little bit less than the other beers we've had. So it's not overly strong. Would that be considered a light beer then? 4.8?
Not really, no. Light beers are more, I can't remember what the cutoff point is, but it's closer to about 4%.
Yeah.
This where it is lighter in terms of alcohol than a standard beer, but it's 0.2%. Yeah, it's a little bit, but it's not significant.
But I enjoy this.
Alright, this is good. Well, cheers, and cheers to Boreale.
Cheers to Boreale.
My beer is broken.
Beer gone.